As adorable that scene is, I would advise Akira to step away right now before we get chapter 1. Is it possible for a generation to step away from the previous and begin anew to become different? Even if it's late, it's better than never. The chapter continues to display more of character development and drama that is much needed for one to step forward and start searching for the answer to the question, what should I do? The entire chapter is all in one setting at the park. There's no transition to Kanaki, Furuta, or anyone else. There's even no shocking cliffhanger. It is a great change of pace. It leaves you feeling the same emotion throughout the entire chapter without disruption. It makes it all the merrier to invest in. This is all on Akira to make one small step for strong development. Toka was just majestic throughout the entire chapter. She most definitely has developed a lot from the first part. Usually is take action, acts never. She does have sentimental moments as well, so in a time like this, she is willing to talk to Akira, a human no less, about life in general. She already understands both sides of life. However, her words come across more of not two different sides talking to each other, but just two people. It was a bit chilling that Toka did tell her that she's the one that killed her father, which of course Akira reacted pretty negative. If she wasn't fragile right now, the story could have gone differently, hence her mind on her condition. It's just focused on the kids playing what may be cops and robber, judging by the emphasis on Dove. That or is ironic. I like the fact that Kira saw it normal at first, but Toka states that there are ghouls, so it shifts to the look of kill mode. I remember in another series where food was delicious because it's made in their hometown, but if the same food was made elsewhere, it would be considered rubbish. Biased view is no stranger to anyone. Toka talking about those kids having no home is equivalent to human nature. What exactly is different in terms of living? Really, the difference is the food source, but if you know how to maintain that order, not much will be different. The choice of words, however, is what really captivated me. It's not trying to shove the idea of killing ghoul is wrong. Rather, is there any difference of killing them? Because it sure feels like killing humans. The moment is to state that there's the equality among them. Hinami shows up and you know that this has to be the point that they all have to make up for their past. She was dragged by the kids, but it only makes the moment worth the wait. Toka even states that she is the same as them. It's a subtle way on how her future turns out well as she remains kind and not seeking for vengeance. The conversation begins to shake up as Akira reminisce her father, where she was glad that their life got taken away. I have to admit, that was hard to watch, though I knew it has to be done. She lives by her father for a long time. Eventually, she could very well be just as crazy as he was. I admire that Toka is taking on everything she said and not budge a moment of confusion or loss. She ends up with a hard-hitting question that elaborates on how deep love she has for her father. People don't like what-if question because it means that path could have been better than the one they're in. The thought of what happens if her father never gone for CCG enrages Akira to the 10th. If she was healthy, I could bet my house that she would strike Toka immediately. The shifting conversation is handled swell that it doesn't feel disjointed from the rest and remains in the same emotional roller coaster. It also remains the way that it is not exposition on the thought of ghouls are friends, not foe. By this point, you can tell they're having a normal conversation about their troubling past. I can give this chapter to someone who doesn't even know the series at all, and he or she would think it's human versus human, nothing different. It slowly becomes heartwarming as Toka talks about her father, not that she knows how much love Akira has for her. Toka knows her father was an idiot for taking all in and not moving forward. However, she can hate him or lose an ounce of love for him. That what he's doing is wrong, she would just ignore it because she wants to be with him. It's selfishness that everyone has with their loved one. Akira is no different. The chapter captures the right tense of emotions. Akira shows a lot of expressions that express tons of weight of her emotions. Toka, on the other hand, has that calm but moving look. It's seriously not easy to dislike her. She has that childish thought of calling her father an idiot, but feels alive when thinking about how they want their love. It's awe-inspiring. There's a strong, sincere moment in the end, thanks to how swell it developed from the beginning. It's tender to watch kids being kids, hugging adults like their own parents. I like how there's an arrow from Toka looking at Akira, like, haha, get hugged. Akira still feels unease, but it's a step forward. The powerful scene occurs at the final 3 pages. Hinami is the first to step in and offer a hug. The same girl who felt indifferent of meeting of her due to the past. I love how it takes some time to make a move, demonstrating the hardship of making one step. Thanks to Toka, Akira could have remained stuck in the shuffle, so they hug it out. There's no dialogue, but the body language and the backstory did all the talking. It reminds me of the scene from The Walking Dead with carrying baby can wreck a person because of the backstory. Case in point, we know these 2 backstories as well as their problems. So this one scene alone felt so powerful to see both of them making their grand development. It leaves them not wanting to hate each other, but wanting to know who, which may be the answer that would never shine any light. This is such a heartwarming chapter. You have to appreciate the narrative flow that was put into this, and I applaud Ishida for this fine job. It's 1 development for Akira and a 1 development for Hope. I'm giving this chapter a 9. Seriously, it's really hard to dislike Toka. Even in this chapter, she doesn't have to be a love interest, she is so much more. And that's why she got voted for #1 in the popularity poll. Granted, you have to split the 2 Kaneki, but still, she would be in the top 3, guaranteed. So either way, she's still that great, and she still remained great. And I'm happy to see more of her, as well as seeing the more developments from these characters. It's just a matter of developing a character. Nothing more, nothing less. It's that easy. It's simple and it's effective. What are your thoughts of this chapter? It appears that we're going to see a CCG next move, and we need to see some of that because we need to find what is the next purpose of the next arc, or what is our next arc going to be about. We're just having this tender, sincere moments with Kaneki and his friends, which is nice. Now we need to find out where our story goes next, but we need to get our conflicts right away and then start to get invest even more, especially now we start to care more of these characters. We start to endure these characters further if they're going to die or they're going to live or something crisis is going to happen, and that's what makes developing stronger. And that would do it for today's review. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you like this and want more of this, subscribe to my channel and my world will be yours to stay. Until next time, take care.